In the aftermath of a turbulent divorce, I found myself yearning for liberation, for a chance to reclaim my life and steer it in a new direction. It was this desire for renewal that spurred me to embark on a solitary journey, one without a set destination, where the road itself was my guide. I was determined to drive until exhaustion or the road's end, whichever came first. Little did I know, my quest for freedom would lead me to a night of unimaginable terror. As dusk gave way to night, a relentless storm unleashed its fury, the rain pounding against my windshield, luring the world outside into a cascade of shimmering lights and shadows. After nearly 12 hours behind the wheel, fatigue gnawed at my bones, urging me to seek refuge. That's when I spotted it, a dilapidated motel, barely visible, tucked away 50 meters from the main road, behind a forlorn gas station, as if hiding in a ravine. The gas station, though closed, had its lights on, creating an eerie glow that cut through the rain-soaked darkness. With morning in mind, I decided to fill up my tank, but the attendant was nowhere in sight. After what felt like an eternity of yelling, he appeared, a man whose dual role as cashier and motel receptionist was as unusual as the motel's secluded location. After settling into my room, a blanket of exhaustion enveloping me, I couldn't help but notice the peculiarities that made this motel feel more like a scene from a forgotten tale than a place of rest. The wallpaper, peeling at the edges, the musty scent of old wood, and the dim lighting all added to the eerie atmosphere. But it was the whispering and rustling from the neighboring room that truly unsettled me. The sounds were not just random noise, they carried an aggressive undertone, as if someone or something was engaged in a heated exchange with an unseen adversary. In spite of the unease these sounds instilled in me, my fatigue outweighed my fear. Rationalizing that the walls were likely thin and the sounds merely the product of another guest's television or radio, I decided to give in to my body's desperate need for rest. I crawled into the creaky bed, the springs groaning under my weight, and pulled the thin, slightly damp blanket up to my chin. The rustling and whispering continued, a sinister lullaby, as I drifted into a fitful sleep, unaware of the true extent of the night's forthcoming horrors. In the heart of the night, a bizarre scraping sound jolted me awake. Peering outside, I found only the relentless rain. The noise, however, was unmistakably from within, emanating from the pine room next door. My knock brought momentary silence, but peace was fleeting. Compelled by a sudden urge, I made my way to the small, dimly lit bathroom, the tiles cold under my feet, amplifying the chill that had nothing to do with the temperature. The air felt heavier here, laden with a sense of intrusion that prickled at my skin. As I sat there trying to shake off the uneasiness, my gaze inadvertently swept across the cramped space, halting at the sink opposite me. Beneath it, a small round grate, presumably a vent, was embedded into the wall, an innocuous detail I might have overlooked had it not been for the disturbing sight that soon unfolded. Through the slits of the grate, a pair of eyes materialized, cold and unblinking, fixated on me, with a malevolence that sent a jolt of terror through my veins. The sinister gaze belonged to a man's face partially obscured by the shadows, yet unmistakably smirking with a dark, twisted amusement. In a panic, I fumbled for my phone, the flashlight casting a stark beam across the room. The face retreated into the darkness at the light's intrusion, disappearing as quickly as it had appeared, but not before I recognized the hauntingly familiar features of the gas station attendant and motel administrator. The realization that he had been watching, that his presence loomed so close yet unseen, sent waves of revulsion and fear crashing over me. Panic set in as a forceful banging on my door ensued. My instincts to secure the door with all locks and the chair spared me from an immediate intrusion. I dialed 911, my voice trembling, narrating the nightmare unfolding. The frantic pounding abruptly ceased, replaced by the eerie sound of scraping that had haunted me earlier. It dawned on me then, with a chilling clarity, that my assailant's intentions were far more sinister than I had feared. The realization that he was attempting to navigate the narrow confines of the ventilation system to reach me sent a new wave of panic coursing through my body. Armed with nothing but a can of pepper spray, a meager defense against the looming threat, I steeled myself for the confrontation. The vent, once an inconspicuous feature of the room, now loomed large, as a gateway for terror. Armed with pepper spray, I retaliated, unleashing a torrent into the vent. The resultant howls of agony were a mix of triumph and terror for me, but when the police arrived, escorted by the gas station attendant, confusion reigned. The truth emerged. The perpetrator was his deranged twin, a menace to unsuspecting guests like me. Without waiting for dawn, I fled, the motel and its horrors receding into the night. The ordeal, though petrifying, strangely mitigated the pain of my divorce, overshadowing it with a stark reminder of the unpredictability and fragility of life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us likes and comments.